up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestle MaGiC podcast. Thank you so much once again for joining me. Today is, at least on my clock, is February 9th on Thursday. It's going to come up on the 10th on the channel. But this is the podcast where I go through stuff for WWE throughout the week. And this week, since there wasn't no big pay-per-view event this past weekend, I am going to also look at NXT and 205 Live. Both were admittedly good shows, but we'll talk about them in a little bit. Right now, we'll start off talking once again about Monday Night Raw. Now, Monday Night Raw, a lot of these shows this week were really good. The only one I didn't really pay attention to was SmackDown because it was to me, but it set up a lot of stuff for their pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. So let's just get a rundown here. Let me pull up the list of stuff on my phone. Give me 1 second. And we're taking a look. Sorry, I'm being all quiet right now. I'm just trying to find out where the heck I put the notes. Alright. Oh, okay, so I'll just start talking about this. Alright, so the night started off with Samoa Joe in a contract signing. And he was brought out with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. Mick Foley was a bit begrudged at the fact that of how Samoa Joe got there. He said he followed him, and Samoa Joe said that 18 years is what it took for him to get to the WWE, and a really good promo. And Samoa Joe looked like $1 million here coming out. Then we had Roman Reigns come out. Now, I don't understand something. I don't understand why it's important to put Roman Reigns in every big money storyline. He was in his Universal title with Kevin Owens. This is over the past 2 weeks. The Universal title with Kevin Owens. The Undertaker getting eliminated from the Rumble potentially for his match at WrestleMania. We had him with Braun Strowman. Him at the Royal Rumble match at all being the number 30 entrant, and now him with Samoa Joe. I don't get it. Why it was important to throw him in there, because it wasn't necessary. I mean, I don't hate Reigns by any means, but when he is involved in every big money storyline, what's the point? It feels like we're getting too much Reigns. So anyway, this confrontation set up a match between them for the main event tonight. And just taking over a look at some of the other matches that happened on the card. And Nia Jax fought Bayley with an assistant from Charlotte. It was a good match. It wasn't particularly long, but it was a good match nonetheless. It's a good match. He set up for their eventual championship match, which I'm pretty sure is next week, and it made Nia look strong. So there's that. Braun Strowman beat 4 local guys, and then he said on the microphone, "Foley, I want competition. You call this competition?" It's like he said that like a month ago. And then the real reason he came out, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to say something about Roman Reigns. And Mick Foley came out and gave him Roman Reigns. So those two will fight at Fastlane. And Akira Tozawa made his WWE Raw debut against Drew Gulak. And that was a really good match. I love seeing Akira Tozawa being able to do what he does, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to be a lot more of Akira Tozawa, and I want to see where this Brian Kendrick story leads, and it took an interesting turn on 205 Live on Tuesday, which we'll talk about. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho came out for a promo again, and they were talking about how they're both the champions still. And surprisingly, Bill Goldberg... Oh, wait. Before we talk about Goldberg, Chris Jericho said that the main event of WrestleMania should be Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, best friends finding each other. And who comes out but Goldberg? Goldberg comes out. He accepts Brock Lesnar's challenge, and he challenged Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. Kind of see that coming a mile away. There's no chance that Goldberg is not walking out of there with the championship. The only chance I could see is if Lesnar got involved in the match itself, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, Goldberg versus Owens at Fastlane. Goldberg versus Brock at Mania. Gallows and Anderson beat Sheamus and Cesaro in a rematch for the Tag Team Championships because Enzo Amore and Big Cass were outside, and Luke Gallows kicked Enzo Amore in a vicious kick to the outside, and Big Cass hit Luke Gallows with a big boot, and that caused disqualification because they were not in the match. And this potentially sets up a triple threat tag team war, but we will see where it goes. The New Day defeated the Shining Stars, and I feel really bad for the New Day. I mean, they went from being the longest reigning tag champs to going down and fighting the Shining Stars in a throwaway match. Whatever, we will see where they will go. Chris Jericho defeated Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. That was a really good match. It was a fun match. Sami Zayn has always been in really good matches, but Kevin Owens coming out, hitting him with a super kick, and allowing Jericho to steal the win. And backstage, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens made their Festival of Friendship set up for next week in Las Vegas. I'm really excited for where this is going to go. So Austin Aries was starting to have an interview with Neville, and out came 5 different participants for a match that will happen on 205 Live, a fatal 5-way to determine the number 1 contender for Neville. We had Jack Gallagher, Cedric Alexander, TJ Perkins, Noam Dar, and Tony Nese all out there talking about how they would be the next challenger for Neville's championship. And Neville, and this led to a big 6-man tag team match with Gallagher, Cedric, and TJ Perkins versus Neville, Noam Dar, and Tony Nese. The Faces went over, setting up for their match on 205 Live, which I was really excited for because it was a match with genuine stakes. And I was really excited to see where this was going to go. So moving on to our main event, Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Samoa Joe attacking Roman Reigns in the beginning of the match, making him look dominant. The only thing that potentially was bad about this match, everything else was good. Samoa Joe destroying him, and Roman Reigns actually selling for once. It was really good. Up until when Braun Strowman came out, and it made Samoa Joe look like he needed Braun Strowman to beat Roman Reigns, kind of making him look weak. But so far, Samoa Joe defeating Roman Reigns, it was a good night all in all. Overall, one of the good Raws, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring next week. Alright, let me get up the next notes for SmackDown. Boink. Alright, so I also got a chance to watch Talking Smack this week, and it was a good show. I love when Daniel Bryan's on there because he always gives Good side. He just doesn't care, does he? He doesn't. He talked about James Hogsworth and how that's what they're calling James Ellsworth in the back. I wonder why. Anyways, Daniel Bryan returned to Seattle a year removed from when he retired, and he came out to a huge pop. And then 4 of the competitors for the Elimination Chamber match on Sunday came out, and it set up a fatal 4-way match between Miz, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and AJ Styles for right then and there. And then Baron Corbin won. Surprise, surprise. He did a good showing. Baron Corbin beating 3 former world champions, and that makes him a surprise favorite. But there's another surprise favorite in a different match that I will talk about. Nikki Bella and Natalya fought, didn't fight, but they exchanged verbally back and forth. But better than this segment was their segment on Talking Smack, because Nikki Bella was talking about how Natalya is just obsessed and she's completely crazy. Natalya's like, of course you're on Talking Smack. What, did your Johnny Cena get this for you? And they got into a fight, and then Nikki Bella got in a brutal shot, putting her face against a glass, and it was brutal. John Cena was on late on the show, and he said he was worried about her, but he wanted her to fight her own battle. So this was a lot better than the talking segment. Dolph Ziggler, in the carbon copy of what's been happening, Apollo Crews defeated Dolph Ziggler by disqualification, I believe? No. Apollo Crews defeated Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler attacking him with a chair and Kalisto with a chair. And that sets up a handicap match at Elimination Chamber. Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews and Kalisto. What's the point here? How often do you see a heel going against 2 faces, and the faces are the bigger in numbers? So if the faces win, it shows that it chooses 2 guys to beat Ziggler. But if Ziggler wins, it makes Apollo Crews and Kalisto look weak. So I don't understand who's going to win this here. There's a dual contract signing. This was weird, but I liked it. Alexa Bliss and Naomi had a contract signing. At the same time, Mickie James and Becky Lynch did, setting up their matches, and it ended in a giant brawl. Great mic work from everybody involved, and Naomi and Lynch stood tall in the end. But that was really good in that session. Okay. I never thought I would say this in 2017, but the Ascension won a match. Cue the fireworks, cue the confetti, cue everything. The Ascension won a match in 2017. The Ascension teamed with the Vaudevillains and the Usos versus American Alpha, Breezango, and Heath Slater, and the Ascension picked up the win. Never thought I'd see it. I never thought I'd see it in 2017. Maybe there might be some plans for them after all, but unless they win on Sunday, I'm not going to get my hopes up at all. And then the main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the 21st time. Apparently they fought on TV 20 times, and then on the house show circuit and everything, a total of 200 times they've been in the same match. The 21st time on TV, first time on SmackDown Live. It was alright. It was good. I'm not complaining, but it's alright. It's good. Okay. Oh, and by the way, John Cena won that. Because Cena wins. Lol. Alright, so next we're going to go to NXT. And NXT started off in a really awesome way. It started off with Sanity coming out. I love Sanity. Oh, sorry. I forgot to switch that. I love Sanity. Sanity is like one of my favorite groups right now. I love their concept. And it's not really big on what it is, but I'm really loving Sanity right now, and there's just path to destruction. So it comes out with Sanity. It's a tag team match, or supposedly a tag team match, between Killian Dane, aka Big Damo, and Alexander Wolf against the Bollywood Boys. And Killian Dane didn't even tag. He never tagged Alexander Wolf, and he was like, I want these guys. These guys are going to be my dinner tonight. And he just absolutely destroyed them in a matter of minutes. And that put a smile on my face. That was good. I was really happy to watch that match go down. And then Nikki Cross grabs the microphone and he said, give me Asuka, and starts freaking out. But they just brush right over it, and Eric Young talks about how he's not going to give Ty Dillinger a choice, that he has to join Sanity, and then Sanity walk off. This would not be the last time we saw Sanity. Sorry if I'm yelling in the microphone. This wouldn't be the last time we see Sanity in the night. Liv Morgan fought Billie Kay in a match, and Liv Morgan getting the win with a roll-up. Quick match. It was good. Liv Morgan certainly getting there. And Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are really annoying heels, but I like them. The Revival beats Heavy Machinery and then says that they're going to beat the Authors of Pain, and I was like, you really shouldn't be doing that. Authors of Pain are going to probably kill you. And then Authors of Pain, sure enough, came out and were ready to kill him, but then Revival snuck out of the ring and left for a bit, and as the Authors of Pain were leaving, the Revival comes out and blindsides them and then runs away. And I really like the cowardly attack, but it makes Revival look like an apt threat. Bobby Roode with his glorious celebration, basically running down the fans and saying that the NXT Championship is now glorious. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do here, because Chris Hero, a.k.a. Cassius Ohno, was taped for Nakamura's title. But now Nakamura doesn't have it. I'm really curious to see where they go from here. I don't remember when this happened in the points, but Sanity interrupted Ty Dillinger's interview after Ty Dillinger said he will not join Sanity, and attacked Ty Dillinger out to the ring. And Ty Dillinger was getting mugged when No Way Jose and Roderick Strong, weird group, came out and stopped them, setting up a 6-man tag team match, which was the main event, with, I forgot who won. Oh, Eric Young picked up the victory for Sanity. So it was a good match. I was listening to it, but I forgot who won. But I really love NXT right now and what they're doing with as far as storyline goes. Now, many people might criticize me for this belief, but this episode of 205 Live was probably the best one they've put out. Now hear me out. The entire night focused on one overarching story with Rich Swann injured, who is fighting the Cruiserweight Champion Neville. And for some reason Tony Nese was injured, so Mustafa Ali and Arya Daivari fought for a chance to go into the Fatal 5-Way elimination match to take his place. Mustafa Ali won in a hard-hitting match. I love both of these guys. They did a really good job in making everything seem like they're fighting for something, which they were. Brian Kendrick took on Lince Dorado, and as Brian Kendrick comes to the ring, he has a chance to talk to and call out Akira Tozawa and say he sees potential and he wants Akira to join him. After Brian Kendrick beat Lince Dorado with the Captain's Hook, or the bully choke, as it was originally called. Brian Kendrick calls out Akira Tozawa when Tajiri's music hit. Brian Kendrick is staring down the ramp, and Tajiri sneaks in behind, and when Brian Kendrick turns around, green mist to the face. And blinding Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick sells that really good. He screams in agony, and it just makes me happy. But Brian Kendrick, down on the ground, Tajiri sliding out, and that gave me goosebumps to see Tajiri's face. He was creepy when he crawled out of the ring. But it was a good segment setting up a story. Fatal 5-way, and this match felt important. This was the first time on 205 Live I've heard a "This is awesome" chant. And I think that's the first time I've heard it for this show. The crowd were invested, they were into it, they wanted to see who was the winner. 205 Live is going to get there. Cruiserweight division is going to get there. But it just need to give it time to breathe and develop, and don't discount it yet. So, the first one eliminated was Noam Dar. After Noam Dar I'm pretty sure he took out Jack Gallagher, and Cedric Alexander came up from behind him while he was taunting and hit him with a lumbar check. 1, 2, 3. Noam Dar's out. So then it's Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, TJ Perkins, and Jack Gallagher. And Cedric Alexander gets eliminated after Noam Dar distracts him, and TJ Perkins pins Cedric Alexander to get him out of the match. Then Ali missed his inverted 450, which allowed Perkins to hit a cross arm breaker on him and eliminate him by tapping out. So then it came down to Jack Gallagher, who was sporting an injured knee thanks to Noam Dar, and TJ Perkins, who thought he had it in the bag. He had hit him with that, I forgot what it was, what the name of it was, when he got him on his shoulders and he drops him down on his foot, and he still kicked out of that. Well, he didn't even kick out of that. He basically no-sold it and just headbutt the crap out of him. This is awesome chance reigning. Jack Gallagher fighting everything, hitting him with a big dropkick in the corner to win the number one contendership, with Neville coming out on the ramp and just staring down Jack Gallagher to end the show. A really good end to the show. 205 Live was my favorite show this week. Second favorite really closely was NXT. Third was Raw, and the fourth was SmackDown. What do you think of all of these shows here? And what questions you have for me? I will answer them in the end of the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for much more on the podcast, and I will see you soon.